sit on an ottoman.
Yeah.
Did you give your mom I imagine your mom listens to the show. You can lie and say you do, and it won't hurt any of our feelings, honestly.
Oh, of course I do. Yes. I have it in my schedule.
What's the release date?
Yeah. Boy, that last episode was a doozy, wasn't it?
Yes.
That last episode was great.
They were all great. How do you even rate them, right?
You made them 5 stars on your local downloading podcasts.
That's why you're my favorite mom.
Right.
This is the Retro Smash Video Game Podcast. Wherever you are, wherever you may be listening, thank you for hanging out with us today, live from the Gene Parmesan Memorial Studios. We are a retro video game podcast where 3 old friends sit around, we drink, we talk about old video games. I'm Weldy. Time joining me here in studio. He's Andy.
Yo, I don't have an intro thing this week.
Good. And he's Ricky.
Oh man, I had one and then I forgot it. So I'm gonna go with hey, anybody else eat turkeys out of garbage cans?
Oh, there you go. Baseball. That's my
do baseball.
Baseball.
What's the other one? It's do baseball and it's fun do or something like that. The other poster.
I forget.
Oh. And joining us here in studio for a special Mother's Day interview, it's Mom. My mother.
I'm Nick's mom.
That's right. Weldy time, Mom. Hello. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So are we calling her like Mother Time? Like it's Weldy time, but it's Mother
Oh,
Time.
no.
Mother Time.
Dang, I don't know about that. That makes me sound really old, like Father Time and Mother Time.
No, but you're young though. You're like Young Time, you know, like Young MC.
Yes, the rapper.
Well, we went to that trivia a couple of weeks ago. They're like, "So, are you Nick's wife?"
Oh yeah,
I was
which
like,
is not the first time you've been mistaken
no.
for my wife.
No.
My wife.
Yeah.
My mom also had that issue before when I took her out for lunch. And,
Really?
the waiter was very determining to say, "Oh yeah, that's your girlfriend." I'm like, "No, man, this is my mom." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's what you call her, huh?"
No.
You're like, "Oh, no, this is my
Whoa.
actual mother."
Whoa, you're
Can't
like,
be
now
both.
I can't eat ever again. So,
And I was like, "Yeah, this is the last time I ever come here for lunch," and it was the last time I ever went there. Never going back to Smoky Bones.
Oh,
ooh.
wow,
That's a
damn.
call out. Other than never,
shout out Smoky Bones.
we're gonna unshout out.
Unshout out Smoky Bones.
Well, wait, no, hold on a second. Oh, wait, no, it's the other place that has the Jim Beam bourbon sauce, right? Oh, Texas. I think Texas Roadhouse
Roadhouse?
has
maybe.
the Jim Beam bourbon or whatever. We'll unshout out Smoky Bones. Other than not going to Smoky Bones, what else have you been up to, Ricky?
I have just been working. That's about it. I've been watching The Last of Us show.
Yeah.
That's been pretty good. Also watching Righteous Gemstones. They're in the final
also,
season. Yeah, we're loving this right now. I'm loving The Last of Us. Shauna doesn't want to watch that. She knows it will depress her.
Yeah.
But The Righteous Gemstones is 10 out of 10. I highly recommend everybody watch it. I think that's about it. I might have played like maybe an hour or 2 of gaming on Fallout this week, but yeah, not a heavy gaming week for me. So, Andy, what do you got?
Also watching those 2 shows as well. And then editing and working. And
I would like to be able to
yada,
watch adult TV shows.
Well, my bedtime's not at 8 p.m., so I get to actually stay up a little bit later and watch what I want to watch. So it's nice.
Well, my bedtime's not 8 p.m. either, but that's the only time I get to play games is after everybody's in bed or at like Saturday at 2 p.m. when I have a marathon run.
Watch it on your phone or something weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought about like watching it at the gym, but I'm like, the first thing I want to watch is all the seasons of Castlevania Nocturne.
Yeah, that you need that.
I might not want to watch that in
around
public.
or in public, probably.
I can't watch
Yeah,
that in public.
Definitely shouldn't watch that in public, but you will get arrested immediately.
Yeah. Don't be going to the McDonald's Playland.
Oh,
watch that. Anything weird.
that's okay. A, that's an aged. I mean, A, you are correct. B, that is quite the aged reference. Do Playlands even exist anywhere
few.
anymore?
There, here and there, they do. I mean, like most McDonald's looks like a lawyer's office now, you know?
Oh, I had to call that out because when I was a store manager of a McDonald's, I caught a dude watching hentai. And I'm like, dude, you gotta go before I call the police. What? There's such a public area. I'm like, not for this. Get the hell out of here.
I thought this was America.
Well, I guess I got a McDonald's reference really quick. This one is fun. It's quick, though. Got really drunk one night. Someone gave me one of those tungsten rings.
But-
And it's been long enough. It's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Come after me at this point? Whatever. I tapped on the glass. I didn't think it was that strong. And the entire door shattered. Like, the whole door shattered.
Jeez.
And I ended up with glass in my hand.
Still got her breakfast.
I did. I still
I was
got.
gonna
I
ask you,
actually,
did you?
I got free breakfast that day. They made us walk around to the other door, and they were like, "Well, that glass was loose in that door, anyways. We've been having problems with it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what that was. It totally wasn't me putting my hand right through the door window."
So you don't go to Smoky Bones and you break windows. Is there anywhere you're not causing havoc at restaurants?
I almost said Taco Bell, but that is like that's number one offender for sure. So I don't know.
Keep admitting your crimes, won't you?
Little Caesars, maybe.
I'm sure you've done some crazy stuff at Little Caesars. You've definitely been flashed a few times.
That's not me though.
They were flashing you,
but that wasn't me doing crazy stuff.
Oh, fair.
You were just the recipient, and God bless you.
That's correct.
Because there was Little Caesars where I worked at too. I never got flashed, but that was inside a Kmart.
Yeah, they might have got arrested there. He was a sign spinner.
Yeah, I was a sign spinner out there on the corner. The guy who does the cardboard signs and flips them around and stuff. Only I just had a cardboard guitar and would just dance out there for like 3-4 hours straight and would like die of heat exhaustion. Hottest summer 2012. It was like 100 degrees every day outside. Enough about me. Let's catch up with Weldy.
I finished both of my marathons. I did 4 runs for Retrothon, and I did my 1 run for No Glitches Allowed, which I almost PB'd on zombies. I got a 36:44, and that's even with Mads coming downstairs, hopping into the stream. Nobody was home. They got home in the middle of my run. She comes downstairs and she's like, "Daddy, I made you a pie." I'm like right in the dead middle of my run. I'm like, I'm talking to everybody in chat, and I'm like, honey, I'm in the middle of a run. And she's like, "But I made you pie." I'm like, "Shit. Okay, fine. Come here. Bring me the pie. What kind did you make?" It was like an orange. It was a plate. It was an actual pie.
Okay.
She colored a plate and called it pie and brought it down. And I'm like, well, this is awesome. This is cool.
Like Play-Doh.
And she just popped into the stream and said hi to everybody. And I almost PB'd that run. But other than that, I got back into the Ninja Turtles kick.
Yeah.
I played Shredder's Revenge. I got an hour, 40 minutes on okay. That's like medium difficulty. Right. So I'm going to see if I can't increase that time. Up yeah, up to 67.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those numbers up.
Yeah, I'm trying to take those numbers down. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to take them down. That's the thing. Because there's not a whole lot of runners that are running in Shredder's Revenge, nor are they running in Rita's Rewind. So I'm going to see if I can't
run that too.
Yeah. Well, I also was kind of floating the idea the other day of doing like a Saturday morning cartoons stream where I play like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, looking for the Rugrats game.
Maybe you should try playing some of those Disney classic.
There you go.
Yeah, the ones that
the morning collection.
Yeah. Insert episode number here. From there, that episode that we did that podcast over the Chip and Dale and the DuckTales
and Darkwing Duck, and I think there was Tailspin.
Yeah,
was in that too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be so bad.
Better yet, maybe you should add the Lion King and Aladdin in there, just to really.
Let me get the Lion King down first. I'm still pissed off that I lost my 25-minute recording because that would have put me top 100 in the world.
Yeah, that's
pretty depressing.
Yeah. Thanks. It is. It's very depressing. But enough about me. We have a special guest here. My mother has so graciously decided to join us, not just because it is the Streets of Rage episode, which is the game her and I play together every year on stream, but Mother's Day is coming up. So we decided just to kind of bring her in. Mom, say hello to all the fine people.
Hello, fine people.
There we go. See, they're nicer to our listeners than we are. Right. Okay, so she's just going to stick around for the interview and play the game with us, and maybe she'll tell a funny story, but I don't know if any story will top the German.
No, I mean, there's the Bowser poop story.
Oh, the Bowser poop story is pretty funny.
He poops himself so much, guys.
Do you have any funny poop stories? Baby Weldy playing video games, jumping up and down naked.
It's on accident. I don't do it intentionally.
Oh, sure. That's what you always.
It's like German Fest. German Fest, that was completely on accident.
Like, I can get out of here. I know.
Yep. He realized that we were actually about the drinking that night, and he was like, I am not here for this life. Oh, boy, this is way more intense than what I thought. What can I say? I shit myself.
Oh, gosh.
Well, to be fair, I shit myself are the 3 words that will get you out of any situation. Don't want to go to work? I shit myself. Don't want to go on a date with that girl? I shit myself.
I do have another funny story. Before I became district manager, I was just a store manager, but I did have an employee shit themselves and had to go home. I'm like, why didn't you go to the bathroom? You fucking idiot.
Did he just standing there?
He's taking care of customers and you just
pooped himself. It wasn't like he was in a photo finish and running to the bathroom.
I don't know. He just I'm gonna go home, and I'm like, why? I pooped my pants, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that smell is. So go ahead and get the hell out of here.
That seems a little suspicious. Like he did it on purpose, you know.
You gotta make it. I don't know.
You gotta make it look like an accident.
And how do you know he wasn't lying?
See,
Did you make him prove it? Oh, okay, there we go.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Pull your pants down. Let me see.
Show me them streaks, boy.
Show me them streaks, boy. I'm sorry, that caught me off. I don't know why that caught me off guard so much. Okay, so my mother here joining us. Hello. So we start every interview. We ask everybody that comes on the podcast. We ask them 2 questions. First one: how old does a video game have to be for you to consider it retro? Not like old school or anything like that, but like how old a video game does have to be considered a retro?
You know, I don't know anything about video games.
How about retro music?
Is that
What about music? I guess music could be the same thing.
okay?
So in our family, I play video games with my aunts and uncles. Mom and I, we only play when she comes on
Yeah.
the stream. Yeah.
Because your mom is actually the cool kid in the family. And she's like, video games are for nerds.
They are for nerds. And yeah.
So old, I would say. Oh man, I would say 90s.
Okay.
Okay.
Anytime in
That's
the
fair.
90s.
That's fair.
25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Older. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, good answer. Good answer. I feel like this is family feud. Good answer. Good answer. And number 2, you are a burglar. You break into houses, but you only do things to slightly inconvenience your victims. For example, we interviewed the Babbler. The Babbler said she was going to tie all shoestrings together. We have had take all the oven racks out of the oven.
Oh my gosh.
So you're only doing things to slightly inconvenience your victims. Didn't Billy come on here and say he was going to kill him or something like that? I think
I'd have to re-listen to that episode.
I think I gotta re-listen to that. I feel like somebody said something like really outlandish like that. I think we asked like, you only do something to slightly inconvenience, and he was like, oh. Yeah, I think that.
That sounds very
a little bit more
Billy-like, but-
inconveniencing, but
Yeah, I'm like, that's more than a minor inconvenience.
don't have to pay your bills anymore.
I mean, that feels
Fair.
like a-
I feel like it's a short-term gain and a long-term loss.
Literally.
Yeah,
What
questionable.
would I do?
yeah.
I would walk out the door with all of their knives.
All right.
Ooh, no
Oh,
knives.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's pretty solid.
that's a good answer. We're gonna add that to the list. All my aunts and uncles, they all play video games. You didn't play video games with them at all?
Not really.
Not really. What did you play? I guess you and I have never had this conversation. Like, what kind of stuff did you play?
We had the Channel F.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yep. Yep.
We had that.
I remember your
That was
oldest
our
brother talking about
first-
that.
Yes, the first video game. Like, we had ping pong, and then we had some kind of Superman game, and that's pretty much about all. Or tennis or something, and that's about all I remember.
Hmm.
And then we got, is it Atari? I think maybe Atari after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother, they would just take over the television. So, and Bill, if he was mad at you, he'd just sit on top of you. So I got like really tired of that. So yeah.
Fair.
So I was done.
Well, that was one of my favorite things when I was a kid was going over
Oh, yeah.
to grandma and grandpa's house and playing video games or watching more watching them play
Yes.
video games. That was some of my most fond memories.
Yes. And you learned a lot of stuff that a preschooler probably shouldn't know.
That's how we're looking.
Did you tell him about the time in Kroger
Oh,
when you were singing?
oh no.
But yeah, let's hear that
What were
story.
you singing in Kroger, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not the Kroger story.
What? You're the Kroger's. I have 2 Kroger stories.
Let's hear
I'm
'em.
going to
Oh,
tell you the.
Yep.
well, this sounds a lot better than a
The
poop
one-
story for sure.
So he was maybe 4, maybe 5 at the most. And of course, he wanders like he does now. You know, he
Not-
sees
not
something
wrong.
shiny and
Not
he's
wrong.
gone. So he was in a different aisle than me. And I was trying to find him. And all of a sudden, he starts singing Bohemian
Oh,
Rhapsody.
nice.
And I was like, the whole I'm just a poor boy. And yeah, at the top of his lungs. And I'm like, okay, I have 2 choices now. I can either run over there and cover his mouth, or I could head the opposite direction and pretend he's not mine. So yeah, I decided to go save the day though.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
It was funny though. Nobody loves me. I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah, in the middle of Kroger screaming, "Mama,
Seriously.
I just killed a man."
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know you knew that song.
I don't know how I knew that song.
Oh, you know why?
Wayne's
it was my
World.
brothers. Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
probably.
My brothers,
Kids say
probably.
the darndest things.
Mhm.
Sorry, kids sing the darndest
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Mhm. And say the darndest things, which is what I think
Yes.
the other Kroger
Yes.
story is that
The
you're
other
about to
Kroger
tell.
story. Do you want to hear the?
Yeah.
Yes.
The other
Of
Kroger
course
We
they
would-
want. Of
We
course
would
they want
love
to hear
for
it.
Mother
you-
Time to regale this story to us.
Of course, they all want to. They all want to hear this.
Okay, so he was
Weldy is beat red, by the way.
in. Okay, so they at the
Fantastic.
time had carts that had little cars underneath
Oh,
them
yeah, I
for
remember those.
kids
Those are
okay,
cool.
to ride on. Every time I'd stop, he'd get out, get back
Yeah.
on, and I kept telling him, "Stop doing that." Kept doing it. We're all the way to the frozen foods. He gets off before I stop and hurts himself.
Yeah.
And then he's jumping up and down in the frozen foods aisle going, "My pee-pee, my pee-pee." That was yet another time that I wanted to pretend he wasn't mine. But all I could say was, "I told you so." Hey, you said it was okay to tell the story. So
Yes.
there you go.
I'm regretting this decision.
Yes.
Yes,
I
you are.
don't know which is more embarrassing, that or German Fest, but I remember German Fest. That's the problem.
This is phenomenal. I think we need to have Weldy's mother on every Mother's Day from now on. Every Mother's Day
Of
episode.
course. I have plenty of stories.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have one more just for the lulz?
Let me think about that one for a little bit. Cheeto guy, remember that? So
Wait, what?
we were probably 4 or 5, and you had this huge Cheeto guy.
Chester Cheetah, yeah.
Okay,
cool.
yeah,
Okay.
about 30 inches tall, huge. You'd take him everywhere, and the seam ripped on the back, and the stuffing started coming out. I just happened to be on the phone because you came and you said, "Mom, the stuffing's coming out. You need to fix it." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll look at it when I'm off the phone." Well, he came back again. Mom, I need this fixed. I'm like, "That's not an emergency.
It is an emergency.
Can you wait like 10 minutes?"
No.
I finally get off the phone and I come and find you. And I said, "Okay, where's your Cheeto guy?" He goes, "Oh, I fixed it.
What?
Duct tape.
Oh, of course.
You
Yep.
started at
Yep.
the neck and all the way down with duct tape." And you know what? To this day, it probably still has duct tape on it. So you fixed it.
I'm surprised out of all my stuffed animals you remember the Chester the Cheetah, but you don't remember Mark Summers.
What was Mark Summers? Oh,
Double Dare?
Yeah,
I had a
I
little
don't know.
Coca-Cola bear. I was holding a Coca-Cola and it had a scarf. It said like Christmas 1994 on it. I named him Mark Summers.
Was he?
Okay.
All right.
Talk about a nerd.
I think
Well, guys, how about we get into that game?
I
off
think
of
you
that
guys are
note?
starting to learn why I am the way I am. It's not because of you.
Mm.
It's not because of you at all.
Yeah, you definitely should not be blaming her at all. But
No.
no. You were absolutely a Pepsi generation, TV generation
Mm.
child.
Well, obviously I'm a Coca-Cola generation.
Yes.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Because it was a Coca-Cola bear.
Nope. Terrible
No.
joke.
Whatever. Is it this or is it that? These jabronis have to choose. All right.
He called his mom a jabroni.
Jabronis. So we stayed on topic this week with Street Stories. I'm trying to think about anything else but racking myself in the middle of Kroger right now. Just hitting all the cash and prizes in the middle of Kroger. And,
Ching, ching.
yeah, not
Is
great.
your Sonic ring spill?
That would have been good. So we're staying on topic with the Streets of Rage game this week. I'm going to give you guys 10 names. You have to tell me if each of the names on the list is either a Streets of Rage mini boss or a nickname of a NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
All right.
Now, as a note, one of these is a neither.
Ah, crap.
Find the neither for a point. Tell me what the neither is for a point, or you can ballpark it for a half point. Number 1, Bulldozer.
Streets of Rage.
Neither.
Ooh, or half the top.
Streets of Rage.
It is Streets of Rage, yes.
Oh.
Nicely done. A Streets of Rage 3 mini boss, where I think it was actually a literal bulldozer. I didn't play much of 3. Number 2, Sugar. Sugar.
Sugar, sugar.
I'm going Winston Cup champion.
Okay.
I am as well.
I say Streets of Rage.
It is Streets of Rage.
Oh.
Nice. Streets of Rage 4 enemy and mini boss. It's the ladies in the biker bar.
Oh, okay.
They have the helmets on. They do the flying headbutt,
Yeah.
and they're really annoying to counter. Number 3, Rowdy.
The wrestler.
No, not Rowdy Piper. No.
Okay. I'm definitely going Winston Cup champion on this one. This is the one.
I'm going to say neither.
Winston Cup.
It is Winston Cup. Nice. Kyle Busch, the living embodiment of Dale Earnhardt. Number 4, Scataboo.
What the hell?
I'm saying that's a mini boss.
Yeah, I am as well.
Me too.
There is a good time for your neither.
Two on your-
Oh.
There was your neither. Now, can you tell me what Scataboo or who? I'll tell you, it's a who.
Okay.
Who Scataboo is.
I'm going to say a singer.
Okay.
I was going to guess that too. I was actually going to be more specific and say a rapper.
Oh, okay. Singer, rapper.
I say Coco Melon. That's a Coco Melon character.
It is not a.
That'd have been great.
That would have been great. No, nobody gets points there. Cam Scataboo, because the NFL draft was last week. Cam Scataboo, a running back, came from Arizona State, was drafted 4th round, 105th overall, went to the New York Giants. He was the man that went into the semifinal game against Texas and said, "I'm the fastest man alive." Everybody made fun of him. He proceeded to have over 250 all-purpose yards.
Damn.
Yeah, he did work. Number 5, Jaws.
I'm going Winston Cup champion.
I'm gonna go boss.
Streets of Rage.
It is a NASCAR
Ooh.
driver.
Yeah.
Daryl Waltrip.
Really?
Yeah, Daryl Waltrip, which I just learned the other day, won 7 straight races at Bristol. I did not know that. You want to talk about sports streaks that will never be broken? That's one of them. Number 6, Rocket.
That's a mini boss.
I feel like you're gonna go mini boss.
I say Winston Cup.
It is a mini boss.
Ooh.
Yes, mini boss. Mini boss in Streets of Rage 2 and 3. Also annoying. It also goes by the name of Jet, too. I think it's Rocket goes by Jet as well. Number 7, Rocky Bear.
Oh, okay, that's Streets of Rage.
That's definitely a Winston Cup champion.
I say Winston Cup.
Streets of Rage.
Oh.
It is the boxer, the big, huge butterbean sized
Yep.
boxer.
Oh.
He was in Streets of Rage 2 and 4. Number 8, Iceman.
UFC fighter.
No, Chuck Liddell is not in this, and neither is was that
There's some random dude on the internet who has Iceman tattooed all over his body. I think we've talked about him before.
we have. Well, I'm thinking Val Kilmer. That was Val Kilmer's character as Top Gun was Iceman, right?
Was it? I don't know.
Or was he Goose? No, he wasn't Goose.
No, it was a goose.
Because Goose was-
I think.
Goose was the one that died. Spoiler alert. No, not spoiler alert. Had over 35 years to watch the original Top Gun.
It's pretty close to 40 years now, honestly.
Yeah, you've had
Oh,
I've never watched it. No, I'm fucking.
you've had over 35 years to watch the original Top Gun.
Andy, that movie is like,
probably older than me.
nope, you're older than that movie. That movie
Okay.
came out when you were at least 15. So
What?
I'm gonna say mini boss though for Iceman.
I'm doing a race car driver.
I say race car driver.
He is a race car driver.
Sweet.
Terry Labonte, one of the Labonte brothers. Both brothers won at least one championship. Him and his brother Bobby. Number 9, Mayor.
Mayor, like the person who runs the
A
city.
city? Yes.
Okay.
Not John Mayer.
Waiting on a world to
I was going to say Bodies of Wonderland.
I'm calling Winston Cup.
Yeah, same.
Streets of Rage.
A NASCAR driver.
Oh.
Yes. Jeff
Woo.
Burton, who is brothers with Ward Burton. Ward was a champion. Jeff was not, but Ward also hunts snakes in his off season with his bare hands.
Okie dokie.
Does he wear bear gloves on his bare hands?
Does he talk to Bear Grylls?
That's funny. And no, he does not drink his own piss either. Number 10, Commissioner.
Commish. That's a boss.
I'm going Streets of Rage on that one.
I say Streets of Rage.
Hey, that's 3 Streets of Rage's 3 correct answers. Nice. Yes. Commissioner was a mini-boss, the second level in Streets of Rage 4. How did we do?
Myself and Mother Weldy both ended up with 5 points, and Andy ended up winning with 6.
Ooh.
Oh,
Andy
yeah.
wins.
What does he win?
Nothing.
Where are the shots at?
You win the one thing that money can't buy: bragging rights.
There you go.
Sobriety?
Surprise.
I guess that is true too. So, Mom, thank you so much for joining us here for the
You're
podcast.
welcome.
Did you have any more horror stories before you leave, or?
I have to save this for next time.
Yes.
Oh,
That's totally fair.
okay.
She leaves us on a cliffhanger, guys.
Yes, she
Yeah,
does.
there you go.
Well,
for next time.
Yes, thank you for giving us 30 minutes of good content. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Love you.
Next time
Okay.
we're gonna get all the moms in here.
Ooh,
Yes.
oops, oops, all moms.
We'll take it.
It'll just be a full episode of only the moms, and they're gonna sit there awkwardly.
Say I love you, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yep.
And now, a reading from the Go Straight Ultimate Guide to Side-Scrolling Beat-em-Ups.
Oh, I thought it was like an anti-homosexual book when you said go straight.
Well, this first line isn't going to do you any favors because known as Bare Knuckle in Japan, the first Streets of Rage was a revelation when it hit the Mega Drive in Japan on 2nd of August, 1991. I just read that as it's in the book. I don't know why I didn't read it as August 2nd. At the time, the arcade brawler scene was dominated by Capcom and Konami, two juggernauts that seemingly had the genre sewn up with heavyweight releases like Final Fight and Ninja Turtles. Their dominance over the genre didn't stop Sega from trying to recreate an authentic side-scroller arcade experience in the home. Although Streets of Rage ran on an inferior 16-bit hardware, the end result sparked a cultural phenomenon that has outlasted the competition to this day. Andy, what kind of facts do you have for Streets of Rage?
I was just gonna go plot wise and then
Go for
bring
it.
in some facts.
No, go for it.
Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Well, the first one starts off with Mr. X. He controls the
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
He controls the syndicate, who controls the once prosperous city Wood Oak and its current police force. You have Axel Stone, Blaze Fielding, and Adam Hunter. They are part of the police force. They quit to go take care of Mr. X their own way.
Goddamn vigilantes.
Literally. Once they reach Mr. X at the end of the game, they are offered to either join the syndicate with Mr. X or die. However, if they do choose to be part of the syndicate, they get kicked back to to the beginning of the Mr. X Tower. I don't have anything else. Fun facts for Streets of Rage 1.
I remember playing the very first Streets of Rage. Fun game. Not my favorite Streets of Rage game.
Fair.
Very clearly.
Mhm.
But I thought that it was a really good start to the series as a whole and laid down some really good lore and groundwork, honestly. But I think it really kicks off with number 2.
Yes, we're at number 2. 1 year passes. Adam is back into the police force. Axel, he became a bodyguard. Blaze, in case anybody didn't know, Blaze is a female. She is a dance instructor. Axel and Blaze meet up with Adam, celebrate the old times, but Adam's younger brother, Eddie, Skate Hunter, calls the two up and says, hey, the house got ransacked. I don't know where Adam is. Like, help me out. What the hell's going on? They end up finding out Mr. X was involved. He's come back. He's destroying the fucking everything. So Axel, Blaze, Skate, and then Skate's friend Max Thunder joins in to fight Mr. X once more.
All right. Well, I guess this is where I'll kick back in. Oh, Weldy, it looks like you got some stuff you're going to add here. I'll wait and then I'll do my stupid commentary.
And now another reading from the book of Go Straight. Streets of Rage isn't just a great game, it also has a unique, ultra cool vibe that sets it apart from everything else in the genre. It's almost a time capsule of the 90s culture, thanks to its neon color palette, retro fashion, and a stunning soundtrack by legendary composer Yuzo Koshiro that has become synonymous with the franchise today. You simply can't talk about the series without commenting on the music, which is a blend of banging techno-inspired beats, high beats per minute house, and elements of new jack swing genre. Streets of Rage also manages to iron out some of the worst recurring issues that many side-scrollers get wrong. For example, when you hit enemies, they'll be rude to spot with a stun lock, which means they can't hit you back without being hit themselves. When games get this wrong, it can break the flow of combat and means there's no tactical way to deal with them. Sega nailed this perfectly, so if you get hit by an enemy, it's always because you were either careless or sloppy.
Yeah.
The challenge feels fair, with precise hitboxes and a wonderful pace that keeps every fight feeling fluid and responsive.
That's pretty accurate there, for sure. I guess my commentary on number 2 is it is the best game in the series. I've played number 3. I did download it. Number 3 was fine, but number 2, I think that is the best
one.
Yeah, it's the best game in the series, and that's probably just nostalgia talking. But whatever, we're a retro video game podcast, so suck me.
Well, it's funny you say that. I know side-scrolling beat-em-ups as a genre is pretty sick, but would you put that at number 1?
That's a really tough one because you could put this, or you could put like Battletoads, or you could put like the Ninja Turtles up there.
Simpsons.
Double
Simpsons,
Dragon,
X-Men.
River City Ransom. You could put all those pretty high up there.
Comics Zone is also one. I didn't really get into Comic Zone, but I think the artwork is different, but it's different in a good way.
I guess if I did have to rank it, I probably would put it at number 1.
Oh, damn.
I would. While I enjoyed all the other games, mind you, those were all fun, and not everyone's going to agree with this decision. I just really like eating turkeys and candy-coated apples out of garbage cans.
Well, did you ever play Scott Pilgrim versus the World game?
I did, and I really enjoyed that game also.
There's some trash turkey in there, too.
I loved it. I thought it was a really good game, too. But if you've ever played Streets of Rage 2 with someone else, I thought it's a really fun adventure. It's kind of like playing all the other games like co-op, but I don't know. This one just feels a little bit more cohesive, a little bit better intuitive as far as controllers and gameplay go. I also really enjoyed the character Skate. All I could think of is just jumping up on top of someone's shoulders and then beating the shit out of their fucking head when you would do that. It's basically like a headlock on their shoulder and you just or like him skating really fast and like running through people or something. It's a fun game. Fun fact about this game is that I actually wrote a script. I don't think I ever told Andy this one, but I actually, at a certain point when I was still working at my very first hotel job, some 16 years ago or whatever it was, I had wrote out a bunch of scripts for sketches.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
This is one that I was doing a Where Are They Now, like after the war with Mr. X was over with, where we would all play like older versions of the characters from Streets of Rage 2. Never really worked itself out and I ended up losing the script for it, but I thought that it was a pretty funny send up of all the characters being basically like beat up and not knowing what to do with their lives since they can't be vigilantes anymore. And then the third one came out. I was like, oh, well, this definitely doesn't work anymore now. So
then the fourth one came out.
Yeah, and then the fourth one came out, and I was like, well, I guess this is lost now to time forever. So, oops.
One fun fact for Streets of Rage 2. The Japanese box art stole some Hollywood actors' faces. Most notably, Axel looks a lot like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
And Mr. X looks a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger from the one who goes to Mars. What's that movie? Total Recall.
That's funny you bring up Streets of Rage 4 because now another reading from the book of Go Straight.
You want to skip 3?
Yes, I skipped 3. For some reason, I treat the Streets of Rage series like I treat the Twisted Metal series.
Always skip the third.
Yeah, like 1 was okay, 2 was the best,
Yep.
3 was, it just wasn't for me. The problem, like 2, you could move fluidly. I think the word you used earlier was fluidly. You could move throughout the screen very fluidly. 3, having to wait to charge up your attack, I feel like that was one that was a little over the top. But 4 was weird, but in a Twisted Metal wise in a good way. But 4 was great in Streets of Rage wise. Streets of Rage 4 only became a reality thanks to the passion and hard work of 3 talented studios who largely collaborated on the project with Sega's blessing. One of the most striking things you'll notice about Streets of Rage 4 is not the core combat mechanics from the previous games are still completely intact. This means that all the old tricks and techniques you use in the first 3 games still work. That realization feels so refreshing, like meeting up with an old pal you haven't seen in years. Amazingly, the developers have built a whole new combo system on top of the old format that doesn't feel tacked on or clumsy. It's a staggering achievement to make something that feels so new yet so old school at the same time. The character's command list blends wonderfully into the game's new chaining mechanics. Newcomer Cherry handles a lot like Skate, with rapid melee strikes that deal multiple hits to keep combo flowing nicely, plus specials that involve her to cut guitar. Meanwhile, Floyd is a mashup of Max and Zan from the third one. He's slower, but he's built like a truck thanks to his augmented arms that charge up with electricity. And ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to read these excerpts yourselves, make sure to visit Bitmap Books and look for the Go Straight Ultimate Guide to Side-Scrolling Beat-em-ups. Thank you, Bitmap Books, for these excerpts.
I want to go back to Streets of Rage 3 since we skipped it over.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Just
sorry.
Call it out.
Go for it.
Since it's still part of the canal.
Hey, I found Shaq Fu in here.
Ugh. In the third Streets of Rage, the Japanese version story is a little different than the American English version. So I'm just going to kind of toss these two together. In the Streets of Rage 3, an experimental weapon called the Rakushi
Gazoon type.
It detonates in the suburbs, kills about 30,000 people. The police put Axel and Blaze on the case. Adam sends his brother Slate on his behalf. There's the researcher, Dr. Zan, like you just said. That guy digs a little too deep into the corporate files and finds out Mr. X is at it again. Mr. X. And then he joins the team also. Then I got a little bit of trivia on this one too.
Let's hear it.
The Japanese version is harder than the English version for Streets of Rage 3. The enemies Electra and Susie, or Garnet, are more scantily clad in the Japanese versions than they are the American version. In the Japanese version, Axel says "Roundupper" instead of "bare knuckle" in English. Then they cut a guy from the Japanese version to the American version. A guy named Ash was removed. He was replaced by Shiva, who is the boss on the boat in the first level. The reason he was cut is because he was a homosexual man.
Oh.
Yep, and actually... Yep, they have Ash in here. They have and now a reading from Go Straight. Most controversial of all is the Stage 1 mid-boss, a poorly judged gay stereotype called Ash. He was removed from the Western release for fear of causing the offense to players, and if you try the Japanese version, then you'll clearly see why.
Just to let you know, he kind of looks like Shore Leave from Venture Brothers, or a more gay Shipwreck from the G.I. Joe series.
G.I. Joe!
I'm a helicopter.
I'm a computer.
10 years passed since the death of Mr. X from Streets of Rage 3. The new crime wave emerges from the twins Mr. and Miss Y in Streets of Rage 4. Axel and Blaze join up again with Adam's daughter this time, Cherry, and Floyd Urea, who is an apprentice of Dr. Zan from number 3. That's the plot line of number 4.
Yeah, I won't lie. I didn't play Streets of Rage 4, so...
I would 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend. I mean, you can play on easier difficulties, but even playing on medium, like I speed ran this game before, and I think I have I gotta look it up. I feel like I have the 6th best time
In the world?
Yeah, on easy.
Oh my gosh, listen to this guy over here.
Hold on. We gotta go to the...
He's tip-tapping now, guys.
I know.
He's pulling up the old Encyclopedia Britannica over here for video game speedrunning stats. And while he's doing that, Andy, what are you drinking tonight?
We totally skipped that.
Only an hour into the podcast at this point.
I'm drinking Urban Vines PB&J wine. It tastes like peanut butter and jelly.
It does. It's not actually bad. I am drinking a Country Heritage Jolly Juice Sweet Table Red wine. If in case you guys are wondering, this is sold during the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday. I've literally been holding on to this as it was one of my bonus gifts from Christmas. I've been meaning to drink it during one of these episodes, and instead of me buying beer, I figured that this would be the way to go.
Why not? That's out of Michigan, I believe.
Country Heritage is down here in Indiana. Yeah, Country Heritage is actually a local winery down here that is brewed in Leota, Indiana.
Yeah,
Leota, sorry. And you can actually take tours there. I know that much.
Yep.
You can take tours there and get booze right on demand.
My Urban Vines is also from Indiana, but they are from Westfield.
Look at that. We are drinking local here, guys.
Support your your local
We're
stuff.
supporting our local wineries here. So if anyone from Country Heritage or from
Urban Vine,
or
hit
from
us up.
Urban Vines listens to us, don't hesitate to support our podcast.
We could shoot an episode in one of those places.
I mean, we'd be more than happy to.
We got a local bar coming up soon that we're going to be recording at.
We will be more than happy to shoot right on site about whatever video game topic you would like us to discuss while we drink your wine.
I have on normal, arcade on normal with Adam. I'm third of 3.
Hey, that's still something.
That's good,
But
man.
it's the best time is 45 minutes, and my time is 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Woof.
Gotta
You
cut that
gotta
13,
cut that down,
18
bud.
minutes off.
1 hour 8 minutes was probably I'm like, this is the pinnacle. This is probably the best I can do because I was playing on a Switch, and the other 2 are PC. So I'm playing on a Switch with a controller. I feel like I was scooting. It was the best I had ever done at that game. Now, as for Streets of Rage 2, my best time, Axel on normal, 41 minutes and 31 seconds. That puts me 33rd out of 33rd out of 50.
But
Hey.
those times are like, you know what you need to do? You need to circumcise those times, and you just gotta
Trim off the.
Yeah, you gotta trim the fat off of those, man, so they can breathe a little bit, and you can get a better runtime out of it.
If I was to trim 5 minutes off of my best time in Streets of Rage 2, it would put me at 36-31. That would put me in 19th place. So I'd move up from 33rd to 19th. The best time of all time is King Iopa, 25 minutes, 43 seconds.
Wowzers.
That's Axel
on you, King.
on normal. That's a good time.
That's a fantastic time. Good on you, King.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
I got a little bit more trivia.
Andy, let's hear some more of that trivia.
Just a few more things. Streets of Rage 4, if you play as one of the DLC characters who are the bosses, you do not defeat yourself. You actually defeat a hologram of yourself, which is kind of fucked up. I don't know.
Weird.
Streets of Rage 4 is the first Streets of Rage that is not developed by Sega.
Okay.
Which
Dotemu.
Yes, or something like that.
I think it was Dotemu.
Which is kind of fucked up because Sega sued a couple other knockoff Streets of Rage. One of them called Beats of Rage. The main characters being Max Bacon, Mandy Blueguard, and Kaluha Gem, and they are to defeat Mr. Y. Mr. Y?
Mr. White.
Why?
Well, isn't that kind of how Streets of Rage versus Mega Man came to be? Because there's a Mega Man game where instead of Robot Masters, you defeat all the Street Fighter characters.
I'm sure it was probably a homegrown.
It was a homegrown, but I think once like Capcom got hold of it, they were going to yell at them and be like, no. But then they were like, well, if you license this, we'll give you a cut. I think that's exactly how that went down. And that's probably how that went down with Dotemu too. I think Sega was like, wait a minute, hold on. We have the license. You can't be doing this. And they're like, well, we'll give you a cut.
Apparently there's one really good one called Streets of Rage Remake. You could play up to 19 characters, which included Adam, because you can only play him in the first one. And you can play as Mr. X, so you can be Mr. X defeating Mr. X.
I have a suggestion for Sega and for the Streets of Rage thing. This is just Ricky coming
Not
to
Ricky
you.
Rambles.
This is just Ricky coming to you with an idea here, guys, for my resume. Maybe you guys should do another Streets of Rage game, Streets of Rage 5. Instead of playing as one of the classic characters, instead you play as one of the evil characters.
To defeat Adam and Blaze.
Adam and Blaze, yeah.
Okay.
I think there's some actual attraction in playing as the bad guy and making all the decisions that a bad guy would actually make in the game, like being fucking cold-blooded and evil to take over the city, getting people to join your side by like, hey, I'll protect your family or whatever. Like, I'll pay you if you defeat these vigilantes out here. We're trying to build something here better for
these
the city.
Vigilantes are ruining our town.
They are, honestly.
They need to go to jail.
Haven't you guys all watched Daredevil? Gee.
Not the newest season.
What if you play the game backwards, like as an evil
Well, now you're
character?
talking about, what's that game? Braid.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of like Braid, honestly.
But like you start from the right of the screen and you work your way left backwards through all the way from the tower. You have to start there because the good people have infiltrated. So you go from the tower and you work your way down to their hideout.
That's Braid. In Braid, you are the bad guy. You're this creepy dude who's like trying to hit on this chick.
Yeah.
The princess. When you're playing the game, you're playing it backwards, where you're like, oh, I'm a nobody. I'm here to save the princess. But in all reality, you are the bad guy. All the people you're defeating throughout the game are trying to stop you from saving the princess.
Okay. All right. You have my attention.
You've never heard of Braid?
Braid was one of those movies that was highlighted. What was that? The indie fucking showcase movie?
Yep.
We watched
the Summer of Xbox, like that type of game.
Yeah, we watched that because they also talked about Super Meat Boy.
Yep.
Was it Bit Runner or some shit
I
like
can't
that?
remember the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they talked about all those games on there.
Definitely check out Braid, man.
Yeah, definitely check out Braid. Sorry,
Is it a beat 'em up?
It's more like a Mario.
It is a Mario side
okay.
scroller,
So it's
yeah.
a platform. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
platformer, yeah, where you get to rewind time whenever you fuck up.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So if
Yeah.
you miss your jump or whatever, you can rewind the time to re-jump.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely
Yes.
worth checking out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 10 out of 10. But there you go, Sega. That is my idea for a new Streets of Rage game, Streets of Rage 5. And then in number 6, I guess you can have the good guys coming back and beating up the bad guys or whatever. I don't know.
All right.
I'm just look. I only have so few suggestions at a time, and you guys aren't paying me. I'm not going to give you all of the good ideas at once. Let's be realistic. You guys don't get to make all the money off of my ideas, and I don't get anything back, unless it's like you guys send me like a bunch of old Sega gear. Then I'll do whatever you want.
A full Sega Saturn collection
I'm
and
just
console. You're like,
saying.
well, I'm not
just
saying.
Nope,
I'm
it's a
not saying.
Sega 3DO.
If they send me a Dreamcast, that's it, man. I'm bombing.
Oh, I was gonna say I'll give you a Dreamcast. I got a Dreamcast.
I
Or no, I give it to
You
you.
had a Dreamcast.
Yes, I give it to you.
It is
Sorry.
now mine. Do you want the Dreamcast? I don't know if it works.
hard pass. Do you have anything else on Streets
Nope,
of
I've not
Rage?
had Streets of Rage facts.
So what I will say then, as far as this episode, be sure to watch Weldy and his mother. They will be playing Streets of Rage 1 or 2.
Probably 4. So
Probably 4.
Well, last time we played 4, she stabbed me and hit me with a lead pipe.
Deserved.
Like 4.
Deserved.
Well, not wrong.
Actually, this is what she's been wanting to do your entire life. But
Just like this fucking kid
yeah,
smashed his balls on the Kroger cart. I wish I could have done more.
Him and his PP. But make sure that you tune in to Weldy time later on this evening if you're watching it on Sunday, Mother's Day. Weldy and his mom will be playing Streets of Rage, whichever 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's a surprise. Who knows at this point? But this is something that they do every Mother's Day, and they would truly enjoy you joining in and watching them at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Sounds about right. 7 or
That's
8, yeah.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Probably 7. My
Where
mom's
can they
probably-
watch that at?
Where can they watch you, Weldy?
They can watch that at twitch.tv/weldytime. And they can watch all of my old runs at twitch.tv/weldytime or YouTube's. Just look up Weldy Time and drop me a sub. That'd be pretty awesome of you.
Now, with that being said, Weldy, do you have some happy times for us?
Some happy time, people. Happy 27th anniversary Panzer Dragoon Saga, released back in 1998. Happy 26th anniversary Pokemon Stadium.
Oh,
The original Pokemon Stadium back in 1999, 26 years ago today. And it's funny that we're doing Streets of Rage because Streets of Rage 4, 5 years ago today.
oh, wow.
I try not to think about March 2020, but yes, that's one thing that got me through a lot of that time was Streets of Rage 4. And speaking of another 4, GTA 4, 17 years ago, back in 2008 released. Happy 30th, 31st, and 32nd anniversary to Bomberman 1, 2, and 3, released
yeah.
all on the same date, a year apart.
Weird.
Yeah, Bomberman 1 was released in 93, Bomberman 2 was released in 94, Bomberman 3 was released in 95.
I got a quick 43 to Dig Dug.
Ooh, Dig Dug.
I do love me some Dig Dug, some of them Digger Duggers.
Same.
Not the Duggar family, not those Duggars.
Doug from Nickelodeon.
That's very funny you bring up Nickelodeon. Happy 31st anniversary, all that. Shows all that, and yes, we do it
I'm
all
gonna stop
the
before we get
time.
copyright strike.
The fact that Keenan is still doing.
SNL?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's crazy.
So, fun fact about his time on SNL, he is the longest main cast.
I mean, what else is he going
Like
to do?
10 years?
He doesn't do movies.
10 years, yes. He has been on the main cast of SNL for over 20 years now.
Yeah, he went straight from all that to there.
Yes, he went straight
Kenan
from
Kel?
all that. He did Keenan and Kel, and then he went from that to doing SNL. So my man has basically been doing this since
Like
he
sketch
was
comedy for
sketch comedy since
like
he was
14.
a fucking child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for like 30 years now, he has literally been doing this. Very surprised that he hasn't done like a stand-up comedy tour at this point.
That's all I'm saying. That's all he's done is sketch comedy. I don't even know if he's done.
I'm waiting for him
a
to bring
movie.
out Pierre Escargot for one Saturday
Just
Night Live
random.
episode. That would be hysterical.
It would actually be pretty funny. Now, your education with Pierre Escargot.
By the way,
Let's see, bringing back Lori Beth.
oh,
that would be great.
that would
I know that they would never ever do it, but I do think that it would be pretty funny if they did SNL episode and it was like basically just like a whole send up for it was just all like alumni from all that.
They did a Good Burger thing with
Yeah,
to Kel.
they also did like a sequel to the Good Burger movie as well.
Oh yeah, I heard- yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about that.
and that kind of bombed. Some nostalgia isn't good nostalgia, but I don't want a full Good Burger movie. However, if we get like a solid episode of SNL and it's just all that characters, I can guarantee it would be a very highly rated episode. I can almost guarantee that.
Oh,
especially
absolutely, yeah.
if you get TLC to do the opening theme song right then and there. On
Oh,
Well-
that would be that's gonna be a little hard.
Yeah. Is the one going to be a hologram?
you guys want to make those jokes. However,
No, we're not making jokes. We're saying
T-Boz and Chili still perform as TLC, so they've been doing so since Left Eye passed away.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were still doing that. That's
yep,
cool.
they've still been performing. They've still been releasing new music. How does
That's-
it feel to be two ignorant white guys now?
That's ignorant white guy. That's just Wednesday for me. Happy 79th birthday to the GOAT, Tim Curry.
Oh, he's still alive. I thought he died last year.
No, man, Tim
No.
Curry's still alive. Everybody says that like constantly, all the time. He's just in a wheelchair right now.
It's that Bob Barker effect. And then that one time he did die, and like 5 years from now he's going to die again.
Thanks, Andy. Happy 35th anniversary to the Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue simulcast.
Oh,
Released on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, BET, and
That's
USA Network
those-
simulcast
okay.
35 years ago today.
I have a VHS of that somewhere.
Do you really?
Wow.
How is it now? April? I would have been 3 months old when that came out. That'd have been baller to see. I'm looking down here. It's got
Garfield,
Winnie the Pooh,
Smurfs.
Garfield's, yeah, Smurfs, Alf, Bugs, and Daffy Duck.
No, wait, was Tim Curry in that?
Probably.
I think maybe I'm getting him mixed up with the smoke monster from Fern Gully.
Probably. Oh my gosh. Who played Scrooge on A Christmas Carol? The
Uncle
like the
Scrooge.
old one.
Michael Caine?
Yes.
We watch that every year for Christmas. It's so good. He's so good. He's so good.
Somebody said that
Caine.
the Muppets Christmas Carol and the Muppets Treasure Island were so good, but they were good for different reasons because Michael Caine viewed the other Muppets as actors
Yeah.
and not Muppets, but Tim Curry viewed himself
As
as a
a
Muppet.
Yes.
And that's why both of those movies were
Yeah.
equally good for that specific reason.
I will die on the hills that, and I know that I have said this in multiple podcasts, but the fact that we don't have more Muppet integrated media is an outright crime on Disney's
Now,
behalf.
did you watch that Dr. Teeth TV show?
I watched part of it, and
That was all right.
it was all right. And I say part of it, and I know you guys are going to be like, oh, well, you didn't watch all of it, so you're not showing your full Muppet support. It was not good Muppet media. Good Muppet media, 110%, are movies or like comedy shows, not the VH1 sort of Office Space sort of or office shows.
It was all right.
I'm just throwing this out there now. You give me some movies with the Muppets in it. Like,
They need to remake movies with Muppets in it, or do like classic stories with Muppets in it.
I am 100% like how we got A Christmas Carol. We should absolutely be getting.
Gone with the Wind.
You know, that's so funny. I was literally just thinking Gone with the Wind.
Are you serious?
Well, it was between that or I almost said like Huck Finn, and I was like, hey! And I almost only said that because I was just talking about how terrible Huck Finn was, and it was like one of the first books that popped into my head.
Quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I'm just, but realistically, 110% we could be watching some damn good Gone with the Wind. We could be watching Frankenstein. You can't tell me that Muppets Frankenstein would not fucking knock
That
it out of the
rule.
park. Where the only actor is actually fucking the Frankenstein's monster.
They had a haunted house movie.
12 Angry Men.
No, now you're going too dark.
no,
And they're all fucking Muppets. But it's not something like a murder,
Not
right?
all Muppets. There's the one guy who's like, oh, I'm the regular guy, and I'm the one who's saying that guy isn't guilty. That guy's a regular actor.
Well, now that's going to end up being like Jack Black because he's in fucking everything.
Nah, fuck
You-
that.
It's going to
gotta-
end up being Jack Black now that you said that.
It's got to be someone serious like a Morgan Freeman or some shit. You can't tell me that you guys wouldn't watch 12 Angry Men with the Muppets and Morgan Freeman.
Green Mile.
Keanu Reeves.
I would watch that.
12 Angry Men, but it's 11 Muppets and Keanu Reeves.
Green Mile.
I would-
With, Kermit plays Tom Hanks.
What am I going to tell God when I get to heaven and tell him I killed one of his miracles?
I'm so stuck on who's playing the Huck Finn character. That name shall be named.
I don't have an answer.
Rolf.
We will not do Rolf the dog that way. Canonically, Rolf is black anyway, so he's basically Ray Charles, guys. Come on.
Well, very fair.
Happy 92nd birthday, Carol Burnett.
Wow, she's still alive.
She is still alive.
There's your she's still alive of the day.
She was on Conan's podcast not too long ago.
Carol Burnett. She was in the most recent thing I think I saw her in was Kimmy Schmidt. Was that it?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Hold on. I'm saying that. I'm like, Carol Burnett.
You look that up. Melancholy Happy Trails to Bruce Mitchell, who played Ross Dower in The Final Sacrifice, which is arguably the greatest Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode.
Oh, wow. You just talked about that episode.
Wow.
Yep, I did. Just talked about that because they added it to YouTube and it's great. May Bruce Mitchell somewhere be drinking a beer on the sun.
Sorry guys, I lied. I looked up the wrong Carol. I think it's actually Carol. It was actually
Carol Channing.
It's Carol Kane that I was thinking of. That's a might be.
No, you're golden.
But there's too many Carols in Hollywood. Okay,
that's fair.
You're doing the Happy Trails to the Pope.
Yeah, actually, I'll do it. I'll Happy Trails him.
I had it even sadder. Happy Trails.
Okay.
23 years ago today, Happy Trails Steve from Blue's Clues said goodbye.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, he's dead?
No.
3 years ago. I mean,
he said goodbye to Blue's Clues,
yes.
and Joe took over.
Was it because of his cocaine addiction or him blowing all his money on hookers?
Steve is a kind, gentle man.
Or was it because I'm just this? That was a joke because those were the theories.
Those were the theories.
Those were the theories that people were throwing around about
that dude
him.
will I don't know. The one Comic-Con I went to, he was there, and some handicapped kid pulled up in a Blue's Clues chair, and Steve's like, "I love you," and I'm like, my tears are pouring everywhere.
During COVID, he released a short video, like 2 minutes, where he was like, "Hey, I'm just checking on you." Like he came out of hiding during COVID and was like, "Hey guys,"
and just dropped the most influential millennial video ever.
And he was like, "Hey guys, I'm just checking on you. I know things are hard right now." And it's like, I'm not 30 years old and crying because Steve from Blue's Clues is telling me I'll be okay.
Yeah, I know. I did. I cried too.
Yeah, I didn't cry that day either. My girlfriend's just looking at me like, maybe we'll see how this goes.
Fun fact on that Comic-Con also, my girlfriend's sister, she already had a Blue's Clue Bluey print, whatever the fuck the dog's name is. He signed it, and he's like, "What the fuck, you have a tattoo? Cool." He signed it, and then we tattooed it at the convention.
That's pretty
so
cool.
she has a signed tattoo
autograph. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'll polish this off then. I will do the ultimate Happy Trails.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pope is dead. I'm sure that we all know that because it's only been a month since he died. And at this point, they probably have already picked a new pope.
Yeah, assuming.
Not yet.
By the time this episode releases, they will have picked a new pope. There will be gray smoke coming out of that stack here anytime soon. I'm not Catholic, nor am I religious, so I don't say these words very lightly. But Pope Francis was actually a half-decent person to this world. I won't say he tried to change the institution because I don't think he made much motion for that. But I will say I think that he was actually a relatively good person who made others feel better about themselves. He truly lived, I guess the best way to say it would be like a Christ-like way where he made others feel better about themselves when given the opportunity, up to and including children. When kids had asked if their atheist parents would go to heaven, and he was like, yes. Given that reassurance instead of just being an outright mean old miser. And again, I'm not a religious person, and I'm not asking any of you to be one or to even respect the motherfucker realistically. But I will say that I do think that he was probably the best thing that we could have had out of a pope, especially in our lifetimes. I could only hope the next pope is half as compassionate as this guy was.
JD Vance is the new pope.
Jesus. Sorry, JD Vance killed the pope, by the way. I should have opened with that instead. That was the last thing that the pope did was talk to the fucking Antichrist JD Vance, and then he died.
Okay. That wine's kicking in the A's.
I would have said that sober. Weldy is taking his first 2 swigs of alcohol for the night.
Didn't want to do it in front of his mom.
He did not. Weldy didn't want his mom to know that he drank or that he had sex, even though there's proof of him having sex upstairs running around the house right now.
Yeah, there's 2 big proofs that I've had sex, and she's picking them up from school on Friday.
Better have been only those 2 times.
That's right.
2 for 2, batting 1,000.
So, Andy, where can we find you?
Hold on. I have one more.
Sorry.
I have one. No, I have one more. So instead of the end of the episode, Happy Trails, we're going to do the rarity. We're going to do a Retro Smashed public service announcement. Don't take a fucking selfie with a shark.
Now, hold on.
Well, Wait a second now. You might need to tell me the story first.
Yeah.
Oh,
if I
well,
was
I'm
Steve-O or
glad
Chris
you
Pontius.
asked. A 55-year-old tourist was on vacation in Turks and Caicos. She was trying to take photos with a 6-foot shark. The officials were notified the visitor had been injured while swimming at a beach on the Providenciales island of Turks and Caicos around 10:30 a.m. The victim, whose identity has not been revealed, was brought ashore, taken to the medical center. Yeah, bit off both of her hands.
She saw her legs.
6-foot shark bites off woman's hands when she tries to engage with the animal and take photographs.
Let's take a pause here. How is she selfieing? Because you got to hold the camera away from you. So he just like bit her one arm, and then she's like, or did she have both arms on the phone? Did she get the picture?
It says reported the woman was from Canada, had only ventured a few yards into the water at Thompson Cove Beach when she was attacked. It had determined that the tourist had attempted to engage with the animal from the shallows in an attempt to take photographs. The woman's husband then rushed into the water after the attack to try and scare the shark away before it could cause more injuries.
Get away from my wife.
The species of the shark is unknown, but it was estimated to be approximately 6 feet in length. Following the incident, the beach was closed by the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources, or the DECR, if you nasty, part of Turks and Caicos Island government. In a social media post made the day of the incident, the agency wrote, "The public is advised to retain out of the ocean until all clear has been issued." The caption of the post says, "Stay safe in the water, always be aware of your surroundings, follow local advisories, and respect marine life. Swim in designated areas, avoid murky waters, and never swim alone, and let's enjoy the ocean responsibly." Speaking of things that should be enjoyed responsibly, Andy, where can they find you?
Do not enjoy me responsibly. You can find our Retro Smashed social medias at retro_smashed on X still somehow.
Twitter.
Twitter. Yes, Twitter.
Its mom called it Twitter. God damn it, I'm gonna call it Twitter.
We are on Blue Sky at Retro Smashed. We are on Instagram, Retro Smashed. TikTok, Retro Smashed. YouTube, Retro Smashed. Like and subscribe. If you want to watch some old episodes with Weldy and Eric, you can. They're on there. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ring that bell.
Starting to sound a little bit like your old man over here, but
Yeah, you're freaking nanny, man. You're mowing the yard.
keep the windows closed.
Send us an email at retrosmashed@gmail.com. Follow us on Patreon, Retro Smashed. $1 gets you that shout out. Shout out Danny at Street Card. Shout out Zombie Loves Pie. Shout out Michael W. I don't know if I'm going to put your full name out there, so that's what you're being called right now. Thank you for subscribing to our Patreon.
By the way, did we shout out Kurt's Perfect Game?
We did last episode.
We did? Okay. I didn't know if we did or not. Okay, sorry.
We're going to create a Facebook page, so just
Hey,
because.
I can't wait to spread misinformation on our Facebook page about video games, guys.
Ricky, where are you at?
You can find me on Twitter at AfroKing89. You can find me on Blue Sky at RickyMJ89. You can find my old YouTube channel at It's the Afro King. You can find me on Facebook. Actually, don't look me up on Facebook, please. I beg of you, don't do that. That's a little too personal for me. We're not friends like that, guys. Unless you want to be. I mean, if you want to send me a DM on Twitter and we could spark up conversation, we can absolutely become friends like that.
Yeah. Dan just sent me one.
Yeah, I've talked to Dan a few times. It's been pretty cool. We can talk anime. We can talk video games. We can talk wrestling. I am a very big wrestling fan. I just watched WrestleMania. You can send me your thoughts and opinions on what you thought about the show. I can tell you mine for sure. I can actually go on like a fucking hour-long rant about it. Weldy, where can they find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/WeldyTime, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday nights. You can find me on the YouTube. Just look for Weldy Time. You can either find my channel or you can find all my old runs from Retrothon, SNES Superstars, No Glitches Allowed, No Holidays Allowed, Halloween-thon, Jankuary, and coming soon, Jankmas in July.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So we'll be doing the same RGL TV, which those guys are awesome. If you don't follow them, they're great people.
I gotta apologize because I sent you a text like, "Are you streaming? Where's the stream?" But I never saw the Weldy Time pop up.
Oh, it's because okay.
Yes,
so
I didn't realize it was on that
It
till
was-
later.
yeah.
I was like, "Damn it, I missed the stream."
No, it's all good. But we're doing one in July. It's called Jankmas in July. So you submit a very, very bad game that you play. You do a Secret Santa. So you will get somebody else's bad game
Ooh,
that you have to learn. Well, they say you don't have to speedrun it or anything, but you have to kind of like know about it. You get like a 2-hour time block. So
Lion King.
somebody's going to get Jurassic Park.
Okay, that's fair.
I ran Jurassic Park for Jankuary. Somebody's getting Jurassic Park.
Oh, actually, it reminds me. Shout out to a few podcasts podcasters here. Shout out to Retro Wars. They just did a recent Jurassic Park episode.
Ooh.
Smashing Bricks. They are a retro gaming podcast as well. They are way more informed than our stupid asses.
What? I'm sorry. Can you say that name one more time?
Smashing Bricks.
Smashing Bricks. Okay.
Yes, they will give you some detail stuff like the history and behind the scenes stuff other than like stupid trivia.
But can you get 4-year-old Weldy hitting his nuts
No,
on a Kroger
so that's why
car
you come to
story?
us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, again, you don't come to us for the education. You come to us because we're a bunch of drunken idiots that you hang out with
Ding, 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 ding.
In the basement somewhere.
And then also shout out to the Survival Horror podcast. That was the Chris Redfield's voice actors podcast.
And also shout out to our favorite bridge teachers, the Bridge Teachers.
Yes, there you go.
Their channel on YouTube and their
Victory Achieved,
actual
toss them out there.
website, and Victory Achieved. We're just doing all the shout outs tonight, guys. Shout out.
So we're shouting out everybody except for Smokey Bones.
Fun-
And that's how you bring a podcast episode full circle. You want to take us home, Ricky?
Thank you to everybody who listened today. We truly appreciate you. Good night, Canada, and happy Mother's Day.
Some funny thing at the end I can't think of.
That was perfect. That's good stuff. Nicely done.